Or Insomniac Games' adventure strives to make you feel like Spider-Man.
Is the way he leaps off of rooftops and flips backwards to face the camera before falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. It gives me goosebumps every time he does it.
Hey guys, Spider-Man here. Today I will be talking about Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now this game was played on a PlayStation 5, but it's also available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And how we're going to do this review, we're going to split up into 4 sections, and that will be 1. Gameplay, 2. Plot, 3. Extras, and 4. My problems with the game. So let's get started. So let's start off with the gameplay. Swinging, for example. The swinging in this game is beyond perfect. It's better than 2018 Spider-Man, and as y'all remember, I gave that game a 10 out of 10. It was my favorite game of 2018. I wouldn't pick any other game like Red Dead. No, God of War's up there, but no, it's just I looked on PlayStation 5. I put over 282 hours in that game. I mean, you can tell I love it. But again, with the swinging here, it's hard to explain because I was using the PlayStation's new DualSense controller, and it feels incredible as you see right now. Like Miles, like visually with the swinging, it just like it blows my mind. Like you see like Miles doing all this acrobatic stuff, and which is perfect. And especially on the PlayStation 5 where it gives you the option to have 60 frames per second, it looks outstanding. I love it. It looks incredible. Now on with combat in this game, Miles is completely different from Peter. So you get new types of abilities in this game that Peter does not have. First game you're kind of like, you're kind of doing the same thing Peter does, but Miles doing it kind of in his own way. Later on in the game, at one point, I think it's this mission here exactly, you get Venom Punch, in which you tear people up in this game. This game is much harder, I should say. I did play on the hardest difficulty and did it in New Game Plus, and moved it to even harder. But I mean, people were playing on normal saying this game was hard, and I mean, it is. But the reason is they throw more, they throw more people at you. They throw countless and countless of enemies at you, and what this game does, it gives you, more abilities as you go on. You keep upgrading to do different stuff with the Venom Punch. First off, you just do a regular punch. Later on, you do like a ground pound, which with the Venom Punch, and it shocks everyone around you. It's a great mechanic, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see if they take this on in the sequel, or it's endless possibilities. And another power we get, if y'all know, Miles Morales, he has different powers from Peter. Miles Morales also has invisibility. Now his invisibility is a mechanic I didn't use that much because I just went straight in, boom, boom, Venom punching everyone, and it was done. But invisibility, I did use it mostly for stealth, and that's mostly what it's for. Not for combat. But stealth in this game is great. There's not much I can say really about it. It's better than the last one. I'll give it that. It's way better than the last one because now you can web people like from the walls. You have more of an opening though. Basically this game is basically the first game, but they've reworked everything to make it like, oh, this is more comfortable now. I don't feel restricted in any way. So that's great too. Now let's go into the plot of this story. Here's a little summary of what's going on. Miles Morales, he's been Spider-Man, I think about two or a year by now. So he's kind of training with Peter. As you can see here, he doesn't have his suit yet. He gets that somewhere in the middle of the game actually. And I mean, it's a classic coming of age, mentor story. Miles is trying to be his own Spider-Man, but he keeps telling himself like, oh, I'm not as good as the other Spider-Man. But his friend Yankee Lee says like, hey, it's basically the message of Into the Spider-Verse. Like, that's basically Into the Spider-Verse. Like, hey, don't do it like Peter, Miles. Do it like you, which is a good message. You don't want to, yes, learn from the person that's been doing it the longest, but don't do it exactly like them. Do it like you. You know what I'm saying? But, that's basically the summary of the story. A new villain named the Tinkerer comes into play, and this group called Roxxon are coming up with a new energy source called I think Terraform. I'm pretty sure it's Terraform. And but Miles looks into it as the Tinkerer's gang is trying to defeat Roxxon, and it's just a big gang war basically. So that's basically the plot. Miles Morales has to stop it, of course. So that's the plot. Very simple plot. Nothing wrong with a simple plot, as long as the writing and acting and everything else about it is just phenomenal. But we'll get to the writing later. Um, what do I think? Yeah, again, what do I think about the story? It's great. Let's talk about the extras in the game. Now, I am very, very happy to say the extras in this game are phenomenal. By what I mean by extras exactly, I'm talking about like the costumes, collectibles, and stuff. So, what do I get for costumes? Well, you get, man, I can't even name them all. You get a 2099 suit, Into the Spider. I'm not gonna name them all right here, but I'm gonna name like some of my favorites. You get Spider-Man 2099, which that was a cool looking suit with his eyes. I'll try to pull up a picture, but his eyes, it's like smoke's coming out of it. They light up. It looks great. The Spider-Verse suit, that looks incredible. When you put the suit mod on it, which cuts the frame rates to make it look like the movie, it looks phenomenal. Um, well, I mean, the regular suit, and there's this one suit you get in the game. I ain't gonna explain what's the meaning of it because it was gonna spoil some stuff. But there's a suit where Miles, it's this regular suit, but he has like a scarf and like a kind of like I think it's like a toboggan and some something on his ankles, and that's a good suit. I love to wear the cat suit. That's a great one. There's a lot of great suits in this game, and not one I have a complaint about. I mean, with Peter, as my dad and me kind of did a similar thing. I wore the advanced suit the whole time. Never, very rarely switched suits unless it was the God suit, the Raimi suit. But my dad, he played he played the entire PS4 game in the classic suit. So I mean, but with Miles, someone like him, I would like to customize a lot more. And, luckily this game delivers that. And the suit he's wearing now, I really enjoyed it. I don't know, something about with Miles, I guess the movie, but him wearing a hoodie with his suit on is just super, like, just really cool looking. It's awesome to swing around. But, what about, well, let's get into collectibles. Well, one of my collectibles in this game aren't as good as the Spider-Man PS4 game. In PS4, you collected backpacks and stuff. This game, you collect something with your old friend. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I don't know if it's characters in the comics or not because I don't read many Miles comics. I'm actually going to collect some here soon, but yeah, he has this friend named Finn, and I don't know if she's in the comics or not. Again, but yeah, you collect stuff that's like from their childhood. So but there is this one cool one. I'm not gonna spoil it here, but there is this cool collectible you get from when you look at it. But all of it's like stuff about their story, which it in some ways it's good if you don't know too much about Miles Morales. It's like, oh, okay, so Miles, okay, he's really into science, just like Peter. He's a really smart guy. So at least it brings that to the table. Um, but unfortunately, let's get to the main problems with this game, which is again, everything I've said, I've loved everything about this. I mean, the collectibles, I was, I'm kind of, iffy on it, but I still liked collecting them. You know what I'm saying? Because I liked hearing like, oh, okay, that's what Miles did. But I just thought the backpacks were cooler in the PS4 game because I guess my guess is because I just knew I'm like I don't know because like they had the Spidey Squad on there. They had, Peter with he had like a pizza hat. It was little stuff that I knew about Spider Man. And maybe if I read the comics with Miles more, I'll understand more of those things. But for right now, they're not high for me. But I can see why people would enjoy them as well. But yeah, okay. Back to what I was saying. Let's get to the main problems with this game, which is making this like and I only really have like 3 issues with the game, which it doesn't sound like much, but like unfortunately they're really big issues. And what are those problems you would say? My main issue is the villains. We get 3 villains in this game. We get Simon Krieger, the Tinker, and Uh, I'm not thinking. I'm wondering if I need to. You know what? Prowler. We also get Prowler, and Prowler's kind of in the middle, but the main villains are Tinker and Simon Krieger. Those are the main two. Prowler is there too, more of like anti-hero in a way. He you get a boss fight with him, but it's for a reason. But you'll see if you guys play the game. But what are my problems with villain? They are just super weak. I don't like them. Like thing is, they try to pull off a Doc Ock thing again with the Tinkerer. You know what I'm saying? But it ends up. I don't know if it's because like PS4 was longer, so I had more time to develop the character and or something like that. But they try to pull off Doc Ock again, where Peter is super close to someone, and oh my gosh, they turn out to be the bad guy. With the character that turns into the Tinkerer, I don't care about them. I just met this person, and I'm all like, oh, I don't care if they turn bad. With PS4, I didn't want Doctor Otto Octavius to turn into Doctor Octopus. I'm like, no, like please, because he was like such a nice guy, and I could relate to him. He was tired of just being in like not second place, but just always being cut out. You know what I'm saying? And he had a brilliant mind, but he just. He was desperate, but unfortunately he took it too far and went into a descent of madness. People can relate to that. It's like, hey, I feel this guy. But with this character, it's a simple revenge plot, which nothing wrong. Again, nothing wrong with something that is simple as long as it is done really well, and you can understand. And yes, I understood the character, but like it's just I wasn't. I don't know what it was. I wasn't pulled in. I wasn't sucked into the world. Like every time the character would come on stage, like the person that is the Tinker is probably my least favorite person in the game, and nothing wrong with the person that um play, played them, but like it's super hard to explain. I don't have the words for it. It's just I can't be pulled in by Tinker, and I love the Tinker. I was like, okay, Tinker's gonna be more of a terrorist type of group. I'm like, okay, I can get into that, but it doesn't work out well as I was hoping. Simon Krieger, boring villain. Nothing I can really say else. Very boring. At least the reason why I'm more mad with Tinkerer is just like this had potential to be even better, but it fell flat. But Simon Krieger, I don't know who that is. And I was thinking, I'm like, he's just like a very generic jerk businessman, really. So yeah, he sucks. He's not good. I would say that probably the best one is Prowler, but Prowler I would say is all right. I like at least excuse me, sorry. Like his suit design's really cool. I love everything else about him, but just the I don't know. I would like again if this game was longer, and I'm not downplaying. I'm not like saying this game sucks because it's not long. You can do a good game that's kind of short, but in some ways, I wish this game was longer so I could get more development with the characters. And but that's really the issue. And other characters in the story I really love, but that's kind. I like Genki. Miles' mom is okay. Miles is really cool. Miles is Miles is Miles. I liked him in the first game. I like him here. Um, what else? Yeah. What's his name? Is it Aaron or Anthony? I think it's Aaron. Aaron, Prowler. He's pretty good. He's all right. He's like a cool uncle. He's kind of like he's like a cool friend you would want to hang out with. And yeah, that's Finn's all right. But anyways, let's go on to the writing. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm the best writer or actor.
That's my ride.
But uh, but I mean, for a big company, I would say the writing in this game is all right. It's kind of I don't know what word to use. It's kind of like it's very cheesy, which is something I should be used to since I read like the 1960 Spider-Man comics and the old TV show. So I should be used to that thing, but like it's nice to read because of the time. But like now in like 2020, some stuff is all like it's very like very corny, very cheesy dialogue. And that kind of disappointed me. I was really hoping I would like be, I was hoping we would get the same level of writing like in Spider-Man PS4 2018 or Marvel's Spider-Man. Like I don't know, the writing in this game. It's really okay, and it sucks because my only problems with this game is literally it's like the two biggest things, or three, yeah, I mean, if you consider characters with villains, but you know, but unfortunately, like everything about Marvel Spider-Man, the first game was perfect. You know what I'm saying? And things in this game exceed it to that point. But the problems in this game, I think, are just too, like not good enough to like pass by it. If there's a couple of collectibles I ain't really care for, or like again, I don't care for the time capsule things. So I would easily brush it off and give this thing probably like a good 9 or something, or a 10 out of 10. And for Spider-Man games, that is, not just games in general. But with the villains just not being as good, or as I'm excited to go up against them, or I'm excited to see them. Then that's just kind of as I was with the PS4 game. I literally that the E3 mission, or the part where they leave the raft. It is just thralling. I was on board. Every time I saw the new villain, I was getting more hyped as it came, and then I was like, okay. And then like you had Doc Ock on top of that, and I didn't want him to turn bad. It was great. And the writing in the game was super good. It felt genuine. It felt like, oh, this ain't some writer thinking they're being cheeky or funny in a way. This is real people having real conversations. Luckily all the voice actors do a great job. It's just the dialogue is just kind of, what I'm saying. I can't explain it in any other way. But I would just say, go out and play this game. You'll love it. Most people will love it. I don't mean there's probably someone out there that won't care for it, but if you have a PlayStation 4 or PS5, I definitely say pick this game up. And I would say if I had to give this thing a rating, I mean, I would give it like an 8 and an 8 out of 10. I mean, 8 or 9. I mean, it's hard to come to, but just with the villain and the writing just not being as good as the original, I'm just gonna have to leave it with an 8 out of 10. It's still a great game. I played this story 3 times in like in a week. I really enjoyed it. But I'll see you guys in the next Spider-Man video. And remember,
It ain't about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the swagger.